Section 1. How Access Control Works in SafetyDocs. SafetyDocs uses a 3-layer access model. Roles define what someone is allowed to do. Users are the people who log in. Permissions define which content those roles or users can access. Understanding the difference between these layers is the key to setting the system up correctly. Section 2. Creating roles. Do this first. Before adding users, you should create your roles. Roles should always be set up first, because every user must be assigned at least one role when they are created. SafetyDocs allows you to create as many roles as your organization needs. There is no limit. Typical roles might include administrator, public, safety manager, consultant, stage crew, rigging, trucking and logistics, contractors, client view only. Roles should be based on function, not job title. Section 3. Creating a new role. To create a role, go to Settings, then Roles. Select Create New Role and give it a clear functional name. For example, rigging or stage crew. You'll now see a list of permission options. These permissions are global. That means if you enable access to shelves, books, or chapters here, this role will have that level of access across the entire system. For tighter control, leave these unchecked, as we will cover now. Section 4. Understanding global role permissions. This point is critical. Permissions set at role level apply everywhere. For example, if a role is allowed to view books, that applies to all books. If a role can edit chapters, that applies to all chapters. This is useful for administrators and core document authors, but it is often too broad for contractors or operational teams. Section 5. Using no global access. Roles for tight control. For tighter control, a common best practice is to create roles with no global content permissions at all. These roles still exist, but they don't automatically grant access to any shelves, books, or chapters. Instead, access is granted at page level, which we'll cover next. This approach is ideal for contractors, temporary staff, external partners, site-specific or task-specific teams. Section 6. Page-level permissions, precise control. Page-level permissions allow you to control exactly who can see or edit specific content. Navigate to the shelf, book, chapter, or page you want to restrict. Open its settings and select permissions. Here, you can assign access to individual users, entire roles, and define whether they can view, update, delete. This overrides global role access and allows you to expose only the content that role needs. Section 7. Practical example. For example, a stage crew role might have no global access, view-only permission applied to a single chapter containing stage layout, emergency procedures, load-in and load-out instructions. A rigging role might only see structural drawings, method statements, specific risk assessments. They won't see anything else in the system because they don't need to. Section 8. Creating users and assigning roles. To add a new user, start by opening the main menu and navigating to Settings, then Users. Select Create New User. Enter the user's name and email address. This email address will be used for login and notifications. If your organization allows password-based access, you can set an initial password or allow the user to set their own via an invitation email. If your organization uses Google Sign-In, the user must log in using the same Google account linked to this email address. Once saved, the user exists in the system, but they won't be able to see or do anything meaningful until a role and permissions are assigned. Each user must be assigned at least one role. Roles control what a user can do within SafetyDocs. Common examples include administrator, full access to manage users, content, and settings. Editor, can create and edit documents, but cannot manage system settings. Viewer, read-only access to approved documentation. Select the appropriate role based on the user's responsibility, not their seniority. For example, A contractor may need access to specific documents, but should not be able to edit or delete content elsewhere. Roles provide global capability limits. They do not yet control which documents the user can see. That comes next. Section 9. What users see. After login. After assigning a role, you'll control access to specific content. SafetyDocs allows permissions to be applied at multiple levels, shelves, books, or even individual chapters. Navigate to the shelf or book you want to control, open its settings, and select permissions. Here, you can grant access to individual users, roles, and define whether they can view content, edit content, create new pages. This is particularly useful when working with multiple clients, different sites or projects, external consultants or auditors. Only users with explicit permission will see that content when they log in. Section 10. Summary and best practice. To summarize, users define who is accessing SafetyDocs. Roles define what they can do. Permissions define what they can see and edit. Used correctly, this structure allows SafetyDocs to support complex organizations, multiple clients, and regulated environments, without compromising control or clarity. This model allows SafetyDocs to scale across complex organizations while maintaining control, clarity, and compliance. Next, we'll look at how to add content to your library.